Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. It's good to see you. So this is the last show of 2024. End of the year, last show. Christmas is around the corner. Little bit of a holiday for us all, hopefully. I'm going to have a little bit of a holiday. Hope you are too. Anyway, what I thought we'd do this week, part 2 of our roundup, isn't it? Part 2 of our roundup of all the guitars that we acquired this year and reviewed on the channel. So last week was part 1, was the budget guitars. They were all under £400 and there were 13 guitars last week. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. I'll put a link in the description box. This week, it's the more pricier, variety. Cheapest guitar today, £549, and then they go up to a little under £4,500. So today, we're just going to go look back on 12 guitars that we've reviewed on the channel, all bought this year, bought with my money, £17,353 worth today. Yeah, well, you know, it's not a lot for 12 guitars if you think about it in terms of Gibsons, what you might get, or expensive. No, let's not go there straight away. So yeah, 12 guitars, and what we're going to do, in this bunch, we're going to pick my guitar of the year. The guitar that I bought this year that for whatever reason I rate above all the others. And there's some stiff competition today. Let's start by looking at, well, something it's not stiff competition for me. Let's start right at the beginning of the year with this. I've bought my first PRS. It's time, isn't it? It's time to put my prejudices aside. So yeah, first review of the year was my first PRS review. And obviously I'd gone on record many times as saying, I don't like PRS, I don't buy them because I don't like the shape of them and so on and so forth. I'd had my eye on the more affordable SE DGT, the Dave Grissom signature, because I thought visually, you know, being a gold top and having the moon inlays rather than the birds, I thought if there's ever a PRS I'm gonna like, it could be this one. I'd like to think I approached the review setting aside my prejudices. A bit stupid, isn't it, judging your guitar purchases purely on looks? I said lots of really good things about the guitar that I felt were true. I felt it sounded good, it felt good, it was really well made. But the but was still there. It's simply this. I don't like this shape. I don't like the headstock shape. And I think the big scrawly logo is gauche. Is that the word? I just don't like PRS shapes, designs. End of. As you might have noticed, I'm not holding the guitar. I sold it a while back, it's gone to a new home, and a new owner who will properly appreciate it, unlike me. Guitar number 2 of the year was this Maybach Albatroz 65, which based on my favourite guitar, the Gibson SG Junior, was always going to float my boat, wasn't it? Absolutely my favourite guitar of all time. Proper, authentic copy, isn't it? Knockoff. These are handmade pretty much in the Czech Republic, and they've got all the good bits. You know what I'd say about these? Like Eastman, really, all the good bits. Good wood, rosewood, of course, decent hardware, you know, from Japan, stuff like that. And this is aged. Look, it's got a really nice checking all over it. You should check out the review. Now, when I got this, I thought I'd already nailed my guitar of the year straight away, because this is a guitar that I have at home and I play all the time. But it hasn't quite made it. There's really stiff competition, as I said. This one, definitely a contender, but it isn't there. Let's carry on and find out what is. Let's just pause and look at it for a second. I think a lot of you will understand why I bought this. Same place that I got the Maybach albatroz, and I saw this on the website. And once I'd started looking at it, I thought, yeah, that's a piece of me. He's a scruffy old bastard, isn't it? Look at it. Being a fan of high quality Gibson alternatives, mainly Eastman, I've been gassing for an Eastman. They made an SB54 with the kind of aged antique varnish finish, P90s, black, but they only made 50 of them, so you can't get them. I've been gassing for one of those for ages. So when I saw this, I thought, that's it. And the price was right, so I bought it. And I stand by what I've said about Eastman's and now Maybachs. They're on par. This guitar, this was under £2,000. It's on par with Gibson's, 3 times the price, okay? Custom shop Gibson's. This is made with the same care, all bar the tone knobs for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there, but they're a bit shit, really, to be honest with you. Following this review, an executive from Maybach reached out just to let us know that they've changed the supplier of tone pots now, and they work properly. My next purchase left me feeling delighted, yet slightly compromised. The point is, I bought a very expensive Epiphone, and I said I wasn't gonna, didn't I? I said, that's it, I'm done with 1,500 quid Epiphones. It was made in the USA. It's different, isn't it? Is it? It's got that beautiful smell. It's got that beautiful nitrocellulose smell. And my justification, so yeah, it's 1,599 English pounds, so expensive. And they still are today. So they're obviously selling okay. It's a proper, almost proper reissue of a vintage guitar that I'll never be able to own because I'll never be able to afford one. And I always wanted one. So when this was released, I was in like a shot. Fantastic guitar, plays really well. Not for everyone this, Marmite, definitely Marmite shape. It's kind of like, it was Epiphone's version of the Telecaster. If you look at it, the shape is exactly the same except it's got a cutaway. I should illustrate that by putting them back to back. And I'd be wrong, wouldn't I? Because the cutaways are different. So it's almost like a Telecaster made by Epiphone, but it's a different shape. this was the year that I forged ahead with my plan to buy some more expensive Leicesters to do a proper group comparison with the Les Paul Standard that I had. I had Les Paul Standard, Eastman SB59, I had a Tokai, Love Rock, so I had to get a Maybach, another Maybach. It's a handsome looking guitar, there's no doubt about it. When I saw this in Rose Morris in Denmark Street, I absolutely fell in love with it. Aged Cherry Lane, they called it. What a beautiful looking guitar. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at it. It's, let's have another look. But it's expensive, isn't it? Not as expensive as a Gibson though. In reality, street price of these, quite a lot less than a Gibson Les Paul Standard. Whether or not you think they're as good, check out the comparison film I did. Links in the description box. This guitar, again, pretty much handmade, aged, premium parts. If you're after a really high quality Les Paul, let's say a custom shop Les Paul, but you're not blinded by the Gibson headstock and logo, I urge you to try one of these out. Maybach, Eastman, give them a go. You'll be very surprised. So we had the Gibson, we had the Tokai, we had the Eastman, we had the Maybach. We had to get a Heritage. There's nothing to criticise about a Heritage H150 Standard. Hell, it's made in the USA, isn't it? So, you know, it's the real deal, really, isn't it? My wallet was squeaking a bit at this point, but I saw this used in a local shop. I played it and I fell in love with it. It's got that mojo that I often talk about. It was a strange one, this, because I've walked past Heritage on numerous occasions. On paper, yeah, it wasn't quite right. This guitar on paper was over £10, I think, which was a definite no-no for me. And the headstock had always bugged me, that, you know, spade like, I don't know, or like headstock that Heritages have. So on paper, it wasn't going to work, but as soon as I picked it up, wow. Now this is honestly one of the guitars that I haven't got here, because I've sold it now. You probably noticed, if I've got them, I'm holding them. The Heritage is gone, the Maybach Leicester 58's gone. The Maybach Leicester 54's gone. I'll tell you about that one, why that one's gone later. But the 58 and the Heritage were bought specifically for the big Comparo. And once I'd done that, I had to get rid of them because I couldn't afford to keep them. I think this Heritage H150, I think this is the one that I might regret selling most. It was a happy day when I got the email announcing this. At long last, yeah, after years of hoping and praying and asking, we're finally able to review an SG Junior from Epiphone, and it's affordable. It's bloody affordable. And this, of course, is the new Youngblood signature. I'm still trying to decide whether I'll stick this on the back of one of my vehicles. Being the Youngblood signature, of course, I'm trying to play one of his hits in the review, but it didn't quite come out right. It was sort of came out like a funky version of Wonderwall or something. I don't know whose version this is, but Tomo Funky or something, isn't it? was a bit like Christmas and birthday had come all at once. Not only had Epiphone finally released an SG Junior, but as an artist signature, it was affordable. It didn't have a big premium attached to it. Yeah, it was really nice to see this, get this. And of course, it's like all Epiphones, it's a really nice guitar. It was at the right price, and I've still got it, obviously. You know, it's an SG Junior, it's a keeper. Another artist signature from Epiphone, and another reasonable price tag. What's going on? Hugely enthusiastic about getting this guitar. I got lucky. I mean, I had no inside information. I had no idea this was coming out. I think I did get lucky. It was like fastest finger first, and I managed to bag one to review it. I was a bit on the fence about this guitar, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know if it was because I'd very recently had the pleasure of playing some better Les Pauls, I suppose, you know, the Maybach, the Eastman, all of them, that it didn't feel, I was underwhelmed. I think the colour is, you know, a bit Marmite really. I wanted it to be oxblood, and it wasn't really. I mean, it wasn't oxblood, was it? It was a copper iridescent, but I was looking at it thinking, oh, I wish it was oxblood. So it was kind of, yeah. Yeah, I was on the fence for a month or so. I was thinking, oh, shall I do something with it? Shall I change the pickups? Blah, 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 blah. But in the end, and they were sought after. They were sold out everywhere. They were sought after. So I thought, let's pass it on. Let it go to a new home. Someone who will appreciate it, unlike me. So I listed it on Reverb, and it sold within half an hour. So popular. Nothing wrong with it at all. Just didn't really rock my world, float my boat. You know what I mean? It's not really having it, is it? It's not singing. I thought it was a bit meh, you know. And lo and behold, along comes another artist signature Epiphone. It's the Shinichi Ubukata ES355. This purchase was based purely on the fact that I got a massive discount, 500 quid off, and really I could make a film having another pop at Epiphone's pricing strategy. I'm not a fan of ES, this style ES guitars as a rule. I've had a few. I've had some Epiphone 335s, 339s, Sheratons, Rivieras. You know, I like them. I just never play them. It's kind of not my jam. But this one is different. I've still got it at the moment, as you can see. It's quite. I really like this. I don't know if it's because of the Bigsby, but it's one of the best sounding ESs I've ever owned. And that includes a very expensive Gibson Custom Shop ES345 that I owned for a while. Again, this is definitely a contender for Guitar of the Year. amongst stiff competition. You know, there's a few, and you're thinking, oh, you know, it could easily be there if it weren't for the fact that I've managed to nail why the one that I've picked is the one that I've picked. More of that coming up. I didn't do much of that. So we'll have to do the... It's just the way this is cut together, because in between these guitars there were the budget ones. But next in this film is, of course, another ridiculously expensive Epiphone that I bought at a massive discount. The Firebird 63. Guitar World called it the most expensive Epiphone ever. So we finally got one. You know you're going to do it, don't you? You know you're going to do it. I mean, I paid $11.99 for this, and I was quite pleased about it. Well, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Because $11.99 is really silly expensive. Not very long ago at all, I was kicking off in a big way about the Carina Flying V and the Carina Explorer that Epiphone released for $12.99. I said it's ridiculous. And actually, only probably 2 weeks ago, I'd said I wouldn't pay more than £1,000 for an Epiphone. But lo and behold, this week, here I am, being a hypocrite, saying, oh, I only had to pay $11.99. Aren't I lucky? So, while I might not like it, while a lot of us might not like it, I think they won. I'm still playing this guitar, I'm still digging it. I'm still feeling that it's on the expensive side, though, unfortunately. Again, I paid 1,200 quid, and you know, and they're more expensive than that now. You know, you'd be very lucky to get one of these for that. It still feels like an expensive Epiphone. However, you know, if you can get one for this sort of price, you might want to, because Gibson have just leaked. I think Trogley leaked. A forthcoming Gibson Firebird Platypus release, which looks utter shit compared to this, and it's twice the price, so you might want to consider picking one of these up. But it is a really good guitar, this. I think this will be a keeper. The only thing that I wish this had is a nitrocellulose finish, so it could age a bit, because I'd like to see this a little bit aged and beaten up. And I must admit, I've started to look at the Gibson Custom Shop versions. Now, you've all been watching this, and I know you've been thinking, we know what his Guitar of the Year is. You know, we know. There's no point teasing us. We know. Well, you don't. You will think it's going to be this, don't you? I really needed to come back and have a proper look at this. I bought a tuner this week. What happened last week, I just kicked myself because I was seriously interested in this guitar. You can see the aging on the neck there. How cool's that? That's actual buckle rash, okay? That isn't someone with a bag of Spanos whacking it. That, someone probably knocked a door frame with that accidentally. It's the Holy Grail. This is an original 1972 Gibson Les Paul Custom. It looks a bit different because it's got different pickup rings, uncovered pickups, and different knobs, wrong knobs. So not entirely original, but as far as we can tell, it's got no brakes. The frets were fried when we got it. I've had a fret job. They've been replaced brilliantly by Essex-based luthier Chris Ward. He's done a really good job, and it's proper playable now. This is the guitar of the year that wins my heart. It's the guitar that I'm most proud of the fact that I've been able to acquire this year. And I'll try and hang on to it for as long as I can, you know. Finance willing, really. Yeah, that's really the thing. When you've got this amount of money tied up in a guitar. But you know, to all the naysayers out there, they don't get vintage guitars. You know, well, you got to try it for yourself, because this was cheaper than a new reissue of a Gibson Les Paul Custom. But it's a real one. It's, you know, from the 70s, early 70s, 72. And it's an affordable vintage, and it will of course appreciate in value. And it's got all of that mojo that you can't buy that mojo. Not in your new guitar, you know. Yeah. You can't fake that mojo. This aging is genuine. That's what I said in the review. These are real. These are accidents. Not someone with a big bag of spanners. And it's the other thing is, it sounds fantastic, this guitar. I'm not going to play it now. I don't know if these clips that I'm playing in properly demonstrate that, but it does. It sounds fantastic. I have this guitar at home, and I often plug it in along after playing something else, and it's always wow. And other people have commented on that as well. This guitar has got something. Definitely the guitar of the year for my heart. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? For me, you know, the guitar of the year that I'm most proud that I now own. But I really think it's only fair to award my guitar of the year to a guitar that I bought this year that we can all probably aspire to owning, and probably all own, that is ticks lots of boxes. Not as well as affordability, quality, sound, design, all those things, and it's this. We know that Revstars are good. It's so tidy. Very smart. 10 sounds from this, I'm told. Look, you know, and if you can't find a good sound with all these options, then it's more you, isn't it, really? Yeah, it's the Yamaha Revstar. This is the RSS02T with the P90s and the fancy tailpiece. This is the mid-range one. I paid £679 for this, so it's by no means an expensive guitar. And the quality, the build quality and the design, and look, you know, everything about this guitar really is, it's just really outstanding for that price point. This wasn't an obvious choice for me. You know, indeed, it might not be a guitar that I strive to hang on to, because I'll be honest, I haven't played it, but it just makes sense because, well, this is, you know, I've got, if you were only going to have one guitar, this would be a really good choice. And, you know, it's obtainable, isn't it, for everyone? Even if you can't afford this mid-priced one, there's a cheaper version. Or if you want to go up the ladder, there's a more expensive version. And yeah, I just thought it just feels right. It feels right to award this, the Guitaristas Guitar of the Year that I have acquired this year, 2024, goes to a Yamaha Revstar. That's all for 2024. Thanks for supporting us throughout the year. Thanks for watching, clicking, liking, commenting on all the things that you've done this year. If you've done them, of course. Well, you've watched, obviously, or you wouldn't be seeing this. And special thanks to all the subscribers over on the guitaristas.tv channel. Don't forget, if you'd like to go the extra mile to help support this channel, help keep this, well, keep these guitars coming in, basically, consider signing up and supporting the channel there for next year. It's $50 for a whole year. Gives you access to all sorts of other perks, extras, a forum, stuff like that. And of course, don't forget, we've now got the Guitaristas merch shop open, theguitaristas.com. Things like this. Look, this is the Guitaristas hoodie. Did you notice? And mugs. I haven't got one at hand. I've had my tea before I started. I'm going to go and have another cup now. Out of a Guitaristas mug, because tea does taste better out of a Guitaristas mug. I'm about to blow it. I'm going to wrap it up now because this was all going so well. Buy some merch, sign up, keep watching. I'm back on the 17th of January. I'm going to have a few weeks off, sorry. I'm going to be back on Friday the 17th of January. Mark it in your calendar because that's when we're going to start selling off some of these guitars. If you fancy a dibs, if you fancy first dibs, come back 17th of January, put it in the diary. Have a fantastic Christmas and a happy New Year. I'll see you on the other side. All right, cheers for now. Ta-da.